Today we do the recap of Boys, Season 1. Let's get right to it. Yuri Campbell suffers mental trauma after his girlfriend Robin is killed in a high-velocity impact with celebrity superhero A-Train. Lawyers offer a $45,000 settlement, which Yuri hesitates to accept. Billy Butcher offers Yuri a chance to expose superhero corruption, taking him to a secret soups club to show him security footage of A-Train laughing about Robin's death. Butcher asks Yuri to take the settlement money and to plant a bug at 7 Tower, but Yuri refuses. In Central Park, Annie meets Yuri and motivate each other to stand up for themselves and face their challenges. Yuri plants the bug, but Translucent discovers it and confronts Yuri alone at work. Butcher arrives and helps Yuri incapacitate Translucent. Elsewhere, Homelander downs the mayor of Baltimore's plane, owing to his attempts to blackmail Vought. Butcher and Yuri take Translucent to Frenchie, who makes a meta-bullet to pierce the hero's diamond hard skin, but it fails to kill him. Butcher turns to CIA Department Director Susan Rayner for the Mallory files, but she refuses. Vought VP Madeline Stillwell tells Homelander about the evidence Deep found, incriminating him for the plane crash, so she handles it while he talks to Deep. The night Starlight teams up with the Deep, she promises to kill him if he ever tries to sexually assault her again. Stillwell blackmails Oklahoma Senator Calhoun into allowing a vote that could enable Vought to contract superheroes to the military. Annie stops a rape, unaware she is being recorded. Her agent, Ashley, rages at her because of the negative exposure and legal implications. While Homelander searches for Translucent, Frenchie decides to place C4 explosives in Translucent's colon, who then fearfully reveals A-Train was with his girlfriend Popclaw before he killed Robin. The boys learn Homelander is nearby, and cannot risk killing Translucent. Frenchie and Butcher cause an explosive distraction. Translucent escapes and convinces Yuri to let him go, but Yuri changes his mind and detonates the explosives, killing Translucent. As Frenchie and Butcher clean up Translucent's remains, Yuri leaves his home after finally telling his father how he truly feels. Meanwhile, Starlight gains positive publicity for stopping the rape, only to learn Stillwell has given her a revealing costume. She declines, but Stillwell forces her to wear it or lose her job. Butcher brings in his former friend, Mother's Milk, to run surveillance on Popclaw. Yuri installs spyware on her computer, and they learn that A-Train takes a performance-enhancing substance known as Compound V. Butcher wants to expose them before supers can be allowed into the U.S. Armed Forces, but he needs a vial of Compound V from A-Train's upcoming race with Shockwave. Beforehand, Yuri meets Annie as Starlight, inviting her to lunch. The two open up to each other, leading to their exchanging numbers. A-Train uses a vial to win the race and breaks his promise to Popclaw, announcing he is single. With deducing Popclaw swipes some vials, they find her heartbroken, high, and in the midst of killing her landlord during hypercharged sex. Butcher uses this opportunity to blackmail Popclaw as an informant. At Vought headquarters, Homelander reveals Translucent's remains to Stillwell along with Butcher's message, "Coming for you." Following Popclaw's tip, the boys find a Triad hideout housing an imprisoned Japanese woman, the female, whom Frenchie frees. After she kills her guards and runs off, finds evidence the female was a test subject. When Yuri meets Starlight while bowling, Butcher has him bug her phone. With the Compound V supply compromised, A-Train has Popclaw go into hiding while he searches for the female. Stillwell sends Homelander and Queen Maeve to save a hijacked airliner, Flight 37, but Homelander casually abandons the plane when the plan fails, forcing Maeve to choose her survival over that of the passengers. Frenchie finds evidence leading to Penn Station, and makes a momentary connection with the female, but loses her in the crowd. They corner her on the tracks, but A-Train arrives and tries to kill her. Frenchie attracts a crowd to distract A-Train, allowing the female to escape. The boys corner her again, and Frenchie tries talking to her. She attacks them, so Butcher uses knockout gas. Stillwell is pleased to see Homelander use the tragedy to push for militarized supers, rousing the crowd with a heartfelt speech, while Maeve grieves for those she allowed to die. At the Believe Expo, Starlight talks with some teens while being quietly directed to push the Vought agenda, while Butcher has Yuri meet Ezekiel, the expo host in their next lead. Mia feels guilty for letting Flight 37 crash, and visits her former romantic partner Elena, but leaves before explaining herself fully. Butcher takes time to talk with Rachel, his sister-in-law, over putting a tombstone to Becca. A-Train kills Popclaw for betraying him and finds surveillance footage of Frenchie. After Homelander exits a meeting with Ezekiel, Yuri extorts the latter for information about Compound V, then disparages Ezekiel's sole conscientious campaign. Homelander rallies the crowd with an impromptu hardline speech. Starlight breaks script to speak candidly and reveals her notions concerning Christianity, her sexual assault, and the compromises she made for her corporate employer. Yuri later comforts her and sympathizes with her plight by telling her about Robin's death. Butcher and discover that Vought is using Compound V on infants in order to manufacture supers. Frenchie discovers Black Noir is looking for him. Attempting to escape, he is told to leave the female behind, but releases her out of sympathy. She seemingly dies protecting him from Black Noir, but then awakens and her wounds immediately heal. Now informed, the boys know Vought has used super charities to smuggle Compound V disguised as vaccines and make super babies since 1971. Annie learns that Ashley was fired, and Stillwell demands she comply with her designed image. Annie refuses, remarking that firing her after reporting a sexual assault would hurt Vought. Stillwell, aware it was deep, has him apologize publicly and transfers him to Sandusky, Ohio, for a sabbatical. Butcher brings Yuri to a collateral damage survivors support group, but leaves after yelling at them for doing nothing to get justice. Alone, Butcher explains to Huey that Homelander raped his wife, who went missing shortly afterward. Frenchie and MM get help from Mesmer, a telepath, to see into the female's mind, learning her name is Kimiko, and that she was kidnapped by the Shining Light Liberation Army terrorist group. They also learn the Vought is making Compound V boosted terrorists to push their agenda to militarize supers. Butcher tells Raynor, but when she refuses to target Homelander, he calls off the deal. Meanwhile, Mesmer gives Homelander surveillance photos of the boys. Yuri and Annie share a kiss, but Butcher finds out, warning him not to fraternize with the enemy, and threatens to tell her about translucent. Yuri and Annie book a hotel room, where they have sex, and he agrees to introduce her to his father. Deep finds his transfer to Sandusky, Ohio, dull. He brings a fan to his apartment, but she sexually assaults him by his gills. Homelander holds a meeting to discuss Yuri killing Translucent, extorting Ezekiel, and A-Train killing Robin. He angrily accuses Starlight of co-conspiracy, but Neve defends her. When A-Train calls Yui, claiming he is holding his dad hostage, the boys realize Mesmer betrayed them, and enraged Butcher later murders Mesmer. Yuri obtains some Compound V to distract A-Train and allow Kimiko to cripple him. Homelander asks Vought scientist Dr. Vogelbaum about Becca Butcher, who informs him she was pregnant with his child, but both died and Vought covered it up. Questioning the revelation's timing, Vogelbaum expresses regret raising him in a lab, calling Homelander his greatest failure. Butcher asks Raynor to protect Yui's and MM's families, in exchange for evidence. As Raynor charges Stillwell and Vought, she learns of the superhuman terrorist, Naked. Annie confronts Yui, who explains Vought's use of Compound V before Butcher arrives to exfil him and shoots her. The Pentagon classifies Compound V as a controlled substance, and lists the boys as fugitives, while Annie confronts her mother. Vought denies Deep's return to the Seven, causing him to suffer an emotional breakdown. An injured A-Train, angry at being racially profiled while out of costume, rebins to Compound V. Butcher takes Yui to Mallory, who refuses participation, but informs them about Stillwell, and warns Yui about Butcher's craving for vengeance. Yuri leaves to ask for Annie's help, but she refuses out of distrust. Neve opens up and asks Starlight to be herself again. Homelander privately confesses to Stillwell that he secretly made the super terrorists, and they have sex. At a black site, Yuri helps Frenchie and MM free Kimiko. Starlight rescues them, and when A-Train arrives, she and Yuri fight him until the speedster suffers a heart attack. Yuri applies CPR, but Starlight takes over so he can escape. Butcher takes Stillwell hostage and fits her with explosives to bait Homelander. After revealing he tortured Vogelbaum for the truth about Becca, Homelander kills Stillwell himself. Homelander saves Butcher from his suicidal explosion, and shows him where Becca has been secretly raising Homelander's son, stunning both Butcher and Becca.